How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book was one of the seminal pieces that came out of the early days of personal development. Tons of successful people have cited this book as contributing to their people skills. The likes of Warren Buffett, Oprah, and Elon Musk, to name a few. These are some of the richest and most powerful people in the world. And given how important people skills are in success, reading a book on having good people skills has been pivotal to the success of many, many different people. So this was one of the kind of pioneering books in the personal development space. Dale Carnegie indeed was a mentor to the likes of Warren Buffett. For those who don't know who that is, he's, I think, now the third or fourth richest person in the world, founder of Berkshire Hathaway, which is a big investment firm. So what are the key ideas in this book that make it into our recommendations to our audience? So I won't touch on everything, but some of the key concepts in the book include taking an interest in other people rather than being self-centered, making other people feel important. So everybody has a desire to be significant, and the author touches on that. And the third one would be complimenting people, but doing it in a sincere way, so not in a flattering way. So in the first point, the author talks, to quote, says, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." So this is to say that a lot of people go into social situations and want to talk about themselves a lot, or if they want to make other people interested in them, they'll often talk about themselves and try to make their lives sound interesting, when in reality, a lot of the time, nobody actually cares about your life, and everybody wants to talk about their own life. So if you take an interest in someone else's life, the idea is that you will be infinitely more interesting in that way, not only because the person is enjoying the conversation a lot more, but also because you're different in that most people talk about themselves and don't take interest in other people. Making other people feel important. So to quote the author, says, "The unvarnished truth is that almost all the people you meet feel themselves superior to you in some way, and the sure way to their hearts is to let them realize in some subtle way that you recognize their importance and recognize it sincerely." So that is to say, everybody has a desire to be important, to have significance in the world, and to feel a sense that they matter, whether that be in their career, whether that be in their friend group, whether that be in their family, etc. So if you can give people a sense of importance, that they matter, you're going to get an infinitely better response from people than you are if you make them feel inferior or that they don't matter. And the third point is complimenting with sincerity. So the author kind of talks about compliments as something that people have as a superpower, but they don't actually use. So it's like being able to fly, but never actually being able to fly, because a lot of people see great things in other people, but they don't actually call them out and point it out to them. So the author says, "Flattery is telling the other person precisely what he thinks about himself. Genuine appreciation is telling him what you sincerely think about him." So the author doesn't want to endorse flattery. He clearly says that complimenting someone for the sake of your own instrumental gain is not what he's endorsing. He's endorsing giving compliments that are genuine, that are true. He states that you're going to get far better reaction from people if you do this, because people appreciate having their good qualities being pointed out. So yeah, this is definitely one that people should potentially take a look at if they're looking to improve their people skills. A lot of the advice is quite simple. It's not anything far out there or highly psychologically technical or anything like that. It's very simple. Things like smiling, things like taking an interest in other people, things like making other people feel important. It's pretty basic rules, but sometimes the most basic rules are the ones that endure the longest, and for a good reason. And that's why this book was actually first published in 1936. So, it's endured the test of time. It's been around nearly a century. So definitely one to give a look if you're looking to kind of brush up on your people skills, or maybe you're, highly introverted person and you're just looking to kind of get the ball rolling and get yourself out there. So I definitely recommend this book for anyone in those boats. Thanks for listening. Until the next time. Bye-bye.